Look around you right now, where the lights are strung and the world is dressed in gold and red. Yet there is a quiet ache that sits in the center of your chest, isn't there? We are told that this is the season of joy, a time of fullness. But for so many of us, the noise of the holiday only amplifies the silence in our souls, reminding us not of what we have, but of exactly what we are missing. You aren't just looking for a present to unwrap. You are desperate for a presence to unburden you from the weight you've been carrying all year. Before you bow your head this year, before you whisper the same list of wants, pause and ask yourself, are you praying for things that fade, or are you brave enough to pray for the one thing that will actually change everything? It is so easy to get lost in the mechanics of the season, checking off names on a list and wrapping boxes with perfect bows, all while our own hearts remain unwrapped and untouched. We convince ourselves that if we can just create the perfect atmosphere, the internal storm will settle, but deep down we know that peace is not something you can purchase, and joy is not a decoration you can hang on a wall. This message matters right now because so many of us are walking through these festive days spiritually starving at a banquet, surrounded by abundance, yet feeling utterly empty, trying to drown out our anxieties with carols and chaos. This video speaks directly to the soul that is weary of pretending, the heart that is grieving a loss no one else can see, and the spirit that feels shattered in a season that demands wholeness. If you have been feeling that the holidays are just something to survive rather than cherish, or if you are holding on to a fragile hope that seems ready to break, then you are exactly where you need to be. We are about to strip away the tinsel and the noise to discover a prayer that doesn't just ask for favors, but seeks a profound transformation, turning your pain into a platform for a peace that surpasses all understanding. Think of the moments we hide away, the times during the family gathering when you excuse yourself to the bathroom just to have a second of silence, leaning against the counter and staring into the mirror, wondering how long you can keep the smile plastered on your face. We carry these invisible fractures. The chair at the table that is empty for the first time this year, the financial tightrope that feels like it's about to snap, or the marriage that looks perfect on a Christmas card but feels like a war zone behind closed doors. We tell ourselves that we just need to survive until January, that if we can just power through the traditions and the cooking and the wrapping, the ache will eventually dull. But the truth is that the holidays have a way of acting like a magnifying glass, making every crack in our foundation feel like a canyon. In our desperation, our prayers often become a list of demands for our circumstances to change, pleading for the arguing to stop, for the bank account to fill up, or for the loneliness to simply vanish overnight. We pray for the scenery of our lives to shift, believing that if everything around us were perfect, then everything inside us would finally settle. Yet this is the great illusion of the season. We spend so much energy trying to curate a life that looks like peace that we forget what actual peace feels like. We try to manufacture joy through accumulation and activity, unaware that we are digging ourselves deeper into a hole of exhaustion. We are asking for the storm to stop, but perhaps the prayer we actually need is not for the removal of the storm, but for an anchor deep enough to hold us while the wind howls. You must remember that the very first Christmas did not happen in a palace of comfort or a hall of perfection. It happened in the dirt and the straw, amidst scandal, uncertainty, and the smell of animals, in a world that was just as broken and chaotic as yours feels right now. The miracle wasn't that the mess disappeared. The miracle was that the divine chose to enter right into the middle of it, sitting in the darkness with us rather than demanding we find the light on our own. So, the conflict you feel, that tension between the joy you are supposed to feel and the heaviness you actually carry, is not a sign that you have failed at Christmas. It is the very invitation to let go of the performance and finally pray the honest, raw prayer your soul has been screaming for. This is the profound shift we must make. Stop praying for the perfect scenery and start praying for new eyes to see the grace hidden within the mess. Instead of begging for the noise to cease, pray for the internal stillness that allows you to hear the whisper of God even when the world is screaming. We often mistake peace for the absence of trouble, but true peace is the presence of the divine right in the center of the trouble. When you change your prayer from "Lord, take this burden away" to "Lord, give me the strength to carry this with grace," you stop being a victim of your circumstances and start becoming a vessel of a light that cannot be extinguished by darkness. This deeper prayer is dangerous because it requires us to let go of the illusion of control, acknowledging that we cannot force our families to heal, our bank accounts to multiply, or the world to be kind, but we can control the posture of our own hearts. It is a prayer for Emmanuel, God with us, not God fixing everything for us so we don't have to grow, but God walking beside us so we don't have to be afraid. When you pray this way, the holiday season stops being a deadline for happiness and becomes a sanctuary for your soul, a time where you can finally exhale, knowing that you are held not by how well you perform, but by how deeply you are loved. And then, in the quiet of a sleepless night or the pause between carols, the truth finally breaks through. You do not need to be fixed to be loved. You have been exhausting yourself trying to present a polished version of your life to God, thinking He only wants the shiny wrapping paper and the festive cheer, but He came for the dust, the fear, and the fragility. The weight you feel lifting right now is the heavy, suffocating expectation that you have to be the source of your own joy, replaced by the humble realization that you were never meant to carry the world on your shoulders, only to trust the one who made it. This is your turning point, the moment where you stop fighting your reality and start sanctifying it, realizing that the brokenness of your life is not a barrier to the Christmas miracle, but the very doorway for it. You look around at your imperfect family, your unfinished goals, and your weary reflection, and instead of feeling failure, you feel a sudden, overwhelming wave of grace. The prayer changes from a desperate plea for a different life to a whispered, "Thank you for the presence that sustains you in this one." And for the first time all season, you don't just see the lights, you actually feel the warmth. So this Christmas, let your prayer be simple but revolutionary. Instead of asking for a perfect life, ask for the eyes to see the divine in your messy one. When you bow your head tonight, beneath the glow of the lights and the weight of your years, may you find the courage to whisper, "I am not alone," and feel the silence answer back with a peace that holds you together when everything else falls apart. Go into this season not with a list of demands, but with a heart wide open, because the greatest gift was never what was under the tree. It was always who is standing right there with you. Thank you for letting this message into your heart. If it brought you peace, please like and subscribe to join our journey. I'd love to know, what is the one thing you are honestly praying for this Christmas? Share it in the comments below, and let's encourage one another.